All right. Let's bring this stream to a start. Here we go, boys. Let's get it to it. Let's get damn. All right. Thanks for joining us. Let's see here. Woozel, stream starting soon. This better not just be a trailer with a release date of a stream. Pfft. Shots fired, my friend. Shots fired. All right. Hope you all doing great today. I miss hanging out with you guys. I'm actually starting to like this whole streaming thing. I hope your weekend's going off to a great start. All right. Let's see where we go from here. Make sure my audio and all that's all set up. Making sure we give you guys a quality experience. Cool beans. Agonian, welcome to the stream, man. How'd your week go? How did your week been? I've been pretty busy myself, responding to the ton of comments that you absolute chads are putting into the recent video. Man, that was a really pleasure to do. Interact with all you guys that way. Getting another video ready for you guys and getting ready for the podcast to be recorded tomorrow. So that should be fun. It should be put out on Sunday. So another new podcast for you guys. The week is going smooth, man. So far so good, man. But here's the big problem. This is the big problem. The biggest problem ever this week has had. It's not October, and it's not the last week of October. That's the biggest problem for this week for me, right? You know, I'm not sure if you guys can sympathize, but that's really the biggest issue. Which honestly, if that's my biggest issue, I'm doing all right. Agonia, I'm looking for a decent PvP game that I don't need to play as a part-time job. Don't I know it, man? Don't I know it? Hey, Space Marine's pretty good. It's pretty casual, which is kind of like why I like playing it. You can jump in, jump out. There's not really a whole lot of depth to it. That's also kind of a downside too, because it's like there's not a lot of depth to it. I'm not sure if you heard. I made a video not too long ago about Steel Hunters. Unfortunately, that game is shutting down, so pretty soon we won't have that option. But honestly, I saw that coming. So yeah, I mean, we're here, we're chilling, we're playing games. Wait until October comes around. Hey, Agonian, quick question, and anyone else in the chat, right? Let's see here, Agonian, Arc Raiders is perfect for busy dads. 30-hour solo raids. I think probably think you think 30-minute solo. You meant 30-minute solo raids, and you don't have to be elite at aiming, etc. I mean, honestly, like, it's a great game. Like, you know, you can get in, like you said, you can get in, get your materials, get out. Perfect for casuals. I like it because it's going to be good in that regard, but it also has a pretty good skill ceiling, right? Like, if you know all the nooks and crannies, if you know all the little tricks and little things like that, the skill ceiling on that one gets pretty high as well. You know, so I really enjoy that. Like, you're really rewarded for investing in your gear, investing in learning these skills, investing in your loadout. I think this is good. It's a good balance, you know. But tell me, anybody here in the chat, have you guys heard of the game called Sand? Just the word Sand. right? They're going to be having a playtest in August. I highly recommend you guys checking that out. I actually have a video on the last time they had it. It looks like they've done a ton of improvements on that game. All right, let's get in. Let's get some games. Shoot some heads. See here, Neutral Oswitz. Welcome to the chat, man. No, is it you never heard of sand? Is that what it is? Let's see here. Where we're gonna go? Let's go tactical. Agonian, my queue. Yes, I have 2 videos on Agonian. I have one as a general review and another one with like general gameplay. They have done a ton of improvements since I've played it. So, you know, you can watch my video. It's great. It gives you kind of a basic gist of what the game is like. But they also had a recent update. It's in the Discord. I share that kind of info. We kind of keep up to date with other extract games. So you'll be able to see the video on what they've been up to lately. So highly recommend checking their video out as well as mine if you want like a more long form in-game version of it. For the Emperor. All right. Let's see if this hits. Oh. There you go. Like someone. You did pretty good. Look at that. Just kind of took it. Just said it was ours. Brought that big dad energy. Oh, this guy needs help. Oh no, he died, but he traded for it. Sure nobody else is coming. Somebody here. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, shoot! I wasn't paying attention. Alright. Yeah, Space Marine is... Let's see here. What's y'all favorite item in Arc Raiders at the moment? Says Neutral Auschwitz. Okay, I'll have to think about that for just a second. Because I don't want to give a obvious answer where like, you know, like a snap hook or something like that, because I feel like that item is a little OP at the moment. So let me think about that for just a second, all right? All right, going in. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. You have a good rest of your weekend, all right? Let's see here. Favorite item. All right, so favorite item, Mr. Ultras has to be the trigger nade, the trigger nade, right? The reason why I like it is basically it's just as strong as every other like mainstream grenade, being the HE as well as the snap cap, but you can trigger it manually, so you can use it kind of like a C4 to like trap people out. But you can also trigger it almost instantaneously, so you can basically use it like a regular grenade. That's oh. Second here.
The traitors attack our terrain. Shock grenade out. Scanning.
So yeah, I mean, I like the trigger grenade because it's really, really strong. It takes a little bit more to build in terms of rarity of items. But yeah, see so snitch scanner. Oh yeah. See your neutral Auschwitz. Hold on, my audio is bugging here. I thought I fixed this, but it's apparently not doing its thing. All right, sorry about that, gents. So for you, you said mine is the snitch scanner. All right, there you go. Mine is the snitch scanner. I can understand that because it's kind of a unique little item that you don't really do Why is my audio? Hold on. My audio is bugging out here. It kind of keeps going down. I don't know why. It's doing that again. All right. So there you go. The snitch scanner, because it's a unique item, because you can just toss it on somewhere and then suddenly they have to deal with all this PvE, you know, nonsense. So I understand that's kind of like a cool little. It's kind of a cool little item. It's unique. However, I gotta point out that that thing sells for like 2K, so it's really worth selling. A lot of times that's pretty much what I use it for, other than, you know, upgrading.
Commencing Auspex scan.
Alright, 18 seconds. Nope. 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 Oh, damn.
My duty remains undone.
All right, I gotta spend some time. I apologize, gents. I gotta spend some time really nailing down this setting because for whatever reason, Windows keeps dropping my audio on my mic. You know, because apparently I talk too loud, even though I've set it up on OBS to not be overly gainy. So, you know, I have to constantly set it back to the setting. Yeah, back up, back up, back up. Don't kill my buddy.
Ammunition cache here. Swapping magazine. Auspex engaged. This is Imperial territory.
Nope. Nope. Oh, damn. Neutral Auschwitz. It saved me a couple of times. It can allow for getaways and off angles in group fights. It's great for splitting fights and redirecting the action. Dude, I completely agree. It's kind of a really trippy tool. And so it's just one of those tools where I think a lot of people don't see it for that kind of use, don't see it for constant use that way. So it's definitely unexpected in a lot of cases.
Casualty reported. Traitors attack our terrain.
Oh, I'm getting jumped. I think another low key. Oh, I gotta bring the volume down on my end. I think another low key item that is very useful is probably just the zip line, you know. Let's see, initial assets. This person didn't play for money in TT2 because it didn't do much after a certain point. I mean, I completely agree. You know, I mean, you're not gonna play it like you do normally in a test that you know it's gonna end soon. Oh yeah, this is not gonna go anywhere. But I kind of like to play it kind of like it is, at least for like a little bit, because you know I want to know what it's gonna be like during release. You know, like when it starts off. When it starts off at a certain strength level, I definitely want to know how I'm gonna be probably using it. Oh. This red right face person, this guy. Alright. We gotta lock in. We're getting behind now. It's one of those things where like I kind of play it like it is a normal release, just to get an idea of like how I would be using something in a release. But then, you know, obviously I know it's going to be a test, so it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to be using it more aggressively, so to speak. Dude.
Fresh magazine in.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Activating all specs advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but like that's kind of like I start off playing it like it's a full release, but then I play it more like a test as time goes on, just kind of like to push the boundaries, if that makes sense.
All specs primed. Was this planet worth such a toll?
The traitors attack our terrain.
Shock grenade. Enhanced visuals incoming.
Objective focus
Dropping
updated.
magazine. All specs ready to scan.
All right, gotta get back here.
Fresh munitions.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Reloading.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Changing
Gotta get some
magazine.
grenades.
The traitors attack our terrain.
All right, they got grenades already. See here, neutral Auschwitz. I have a question based on a funny encounter I had. What was the most surprising / unique trap encounter someone played on you?
Reloading.
Interesting.
The traitors attack our terrain.
I'm not sure. What's going on, Arc Raiders? Ben Lurky, sorry. Cheers, everyone. No, dude, you don't have to apologize. I appreciate the lurk anyways. In terms of the
Recovery complete.
sneakiest thing someone's pulled on me, I'm not sure if I ever had anybody do anything like that on me. I tend to be a pretty sneaky player myself, so I'm kind of aware, a little more alert for certain kind of things. But I'm willing to share something sneaky I did to somebody else. I think it was me and my son. We went to do a here.
Fresh magazine in.
The arch enemy has defiled the
Brother died in
objective.
valor, not in vain.
Here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not the best at streaming, so
Swapping
The arch
magazine.
enemy has
okay.
defiled the
All right. So the funniest / unique trap encounter I got on somebody else was we typically run around in duos, so we were kind of holding this position. This was in research, and kind of by where staff room key was, and so we kind of realized, hey, there's a trio. They're kind of like wanting to come pushing on us, but we're can't really hold both angles. Like if we're just soloing holding one angle, and it's kind of hard because the way that angle is, it's kind of like an L shape. So if one angle pushes at the same time the other one is, we get pushed back, we're gonna start getting crossfire. So it's a really kind of a precarious position. So we decide we're gonna drop 2 pop-up mines on the control tower side of things. So we pop 2 of them right next to the door, and then at that point, both of us can then start focusing towards the lobby. So we start focusing towards the lobby. There's some pop shots, and then all of a sudden we hear a ba 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 ba. Like, oh, there goes that. We come back around, we see the guy still there, to our surprise, and we just kind of mow him down and finish him off. That's probably about the gist of it, I think. I know it's nothing fancy, but Neuro Auschwitz, what about you, man? It seems like there's a good story behind that question. Let us all in on the secret. Let us all in on the cool little encounter you had. All right, let's queue it up again. Mm-hmm. All right, Chaos Marines. So none of my cool skins are gonna get used.
Servants of the corpse god claims
Bastion. What map is this again? Oh well, let's do sniper one way or the other. Oh, this one. All right, perfect. All right, just getting started. We're behind 30 points, but you know, honestly, that's not that big of a deal. We can come back from that.
Imperial matches assault our territory.
Whoa.
Imperial matches assault our territory. Missions serve our warband. Imperial matches assault our territory. Shrouding available.
All right, let's do this. Oh. Oh, dang. Alright, so you're new roster, so switch your story. In one of the flats in Buried City, a team used decoy flares to blind me and my buddy when entering. They blocked our screen for a short bit. I'm still not sure if that was 100% on purpose. It worked. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if it was on purpose either. That's an interesting use of that particular device, because honestly...
Deception engaged. Stun chargers. New objective point found.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly, what other else you for that item you can really use, to be honest. Because it's just kind of doo-doo, I'll be honest. It's just not worth using. But they've apparently found a use.
Imperial matches assault our territory. Their sight. Shrouding available.
A little crossfire action.
Imperial matches assault our territory. Conceal our presence. Imperial matches assault our territory. Refilling rounds.
I always feel dirty doing that because, like, you know, that's part of the game.
Our warband is halfway there. Reloading. Shrouding available. New objective point.
See, I tend to do well with these kind of sneaky players.
Allied
This is where I die now,
Switching magazine.
as soon as I say that. I'm running out of ammo.
Is within our grasp. The price of war. Servants of the corpse god claims
Yep.
objective.
All right. All right, let's see here. Doing that.
Imperial matches assault
But
our
I think the real question here is that what weapon, I think, it's a good question. What weapon did you guys initially just not care for that you ended up loving by the end of the tech test?
our territory.
All right, what weapon was that one?
We lost one. Imperial matches assault our territory. Vision reveals the folly of blind faith.
Oh, getting jumped on.
Imperial matches assault our territory.
To neutral Auschwitz, the problem with flares is that the game gives you a HUD XP confirmation when you hit or down someone, I believe, so you can't even fake your death if you get out of sight in any way or form. It may be okay for baiting, but I'm not super convinced. I mean, I think you're right. I think that's basically the most initial way you think people are going to be using it is to fake a fight. You know, kind of just, hey, there's a fight going on here, some gunshots, there's a flare, kind of bait people into trying to like third party it, you know?
Matches assault our territory. Swapping magazine. Conceal prisoners. Imperial matches assault our territory.
Guns are still better than melee, apparently.
The servants of the corpse god claims the objective. This site.
Oh, you got me. Yeah.
Servants of the corpse god claims the objective.
Let's see here. Neurosauce with Stitcher. You weren't a fan of the Stitcher like early on. I feel like that's one of the guns like
Objective point.
I liked right out the gate. That's probably because like I had a lot of history with that gun in the previous tests, so I kind of already had an idea of the gun itself. So,
Servants of the corpse
oh yeah, I should have been better than that.
Pestilence, farce, and blight.
sight. Imperial matches assault our territory. Ally murdered.
Damn.
The corpse god claims the objective.
So near Auschwitz, I personally think they should remove HUD info / HUD XP info for other player related things. I'm be inclined to agree because they've minimized the HUD so much in other ways that like having that pop up kind of undermines a lot of that. So you know, I'm inclined to agree with that. Yeah, you didn't like it at first. Like, I agree with it's not the flashiest thing in the world, the Stitcher.
Our territory.
But one thing I enjoyed about it is that once you realize that a slightly extended magazine gets you 5 extra rounds, like you can just kill someone so easily with that.
Servants of the corpse god claims the objective.
Let's see. Oh, we already don't capture the point anymore.
Imperial matches assault our territory.
Looking to pick up a couple of kills here and there.
The servants of the corpse god claims the objective.
Oh. I'm out of here with that. Oh.
Imperial matches assault our territory. Imperial
Oh.
matches assault our
Oh, almost did that. Yeah, and you're also it's mods and upgrades made it very useful. It's one of those guns that I feel like You don't even need to upgrade it, like traditionally upgrade it. You just add like one attachment, which is just like low level extended magazine. Goes from like 20 rounds to like 25 rounds, I think. And suddenly your ability to one max somebody with that gun just goes up significantly. Oh, yeah, too deep, too deep, too deep. For me, the one gun that I had in Tech Test 2 that I didn't particularly care for initially, but after a while, was the Renegade, right? Like for me, and I know it's one of those guns where like, oh my god, it's so good, how can you not like it at first? Like I just didn't see the point, especially considering like how powerful the anvil was, which is kind of the reason why I think they needed to nerf it. It's just like such a gimme gun that the Renegade was just so insufficient. Oh no. And that grenade was absolutely clutch. So yeah, I think the Renegade for me, the reason why I didn't particularly care for it at first is because like again, it just the rate of fire, the damage, it doesn't justify the crafting cost. It didn't justify the upkeep cost. Objective. Oh. Damn, defeated. I feel like I did good. I feel like maybe I contributed more than I took away. Probably didn't get a lot of points for capping points though. Definitely. Yeah, see my point capping was not great. But my deaths were really low. I probably could have done better with another class to be honest, but yeah. See, Neutral Auschwitz, I have a feeling that the HUD pop-ups will stay, which makes me sad because they kind of trivialize combat and the uncertainty of how much damage you cause in one push. I mean, that's fair. That's fair, you know. But it's rather minimal, to be honest. And as long as they give you an option to turn it off, I feel like that's kind of like a good middle ground, you know, for a more casual audience that's not even paying attention to it. Because some people didn't even notice that it was there, believe it or not. I think, but being able to turn it off kind of like lets you have the option. I'm like, hey, I don't want to know that information. And I know from a competitive standpoint, that sucks because somebody else is going to have that information and they're going to have a competitive advantage over you in that regard. So that kind of sucks too. But, you know, I feel like Arc Raiders is going to do well because it's finding a middle ground in a lot of things, you know. Swifty, man. Welcome to the chat, man. Appreciate you. Pyro, yes, 40K, some Space Marine, man. Let's see here. Swifty, sup, man? How's things? Is there a podcast this week? Swifty, yes, we are recording a podcast, a new podcast episode this week. We're going to record it tomorrow. It should be out on Sunday. All right. So it should be fun. We're going to have a special guest on there too. I'm looking forward to it. Pyrotech, yes, 40K, Space Marine. It's a pretty solid, you know, PvP game. You know, kind of come in, come out, you know, nothing too serious, you know. Lucia Auschwitz, after a few hours, I waited for the pop-up before deciding if I wanted worth pushed further. I mean, I think that's kind of natural, you know. It's like eventually you're going to learn that's what I was talking about earlier with like the upper skill ceiling type of things. Some people will know exactly how much numbers is required to like, hey, I did this much damage, so forth and so forth. So I know, you know, it's kind of like, it's not really having like a number pop up when you hit somebody, but it kind of like it is, you know. Pyrotech, I haven't gotten to pick this up yet. It's a really, really fun game. It's well crafted. The campaign's really great. So if you like single player campaigns, or if you're in co-op campaigns, if you like repeatable PvE missions, and even like a more casual PvP, it's fantastic. I just question whether or not it's worth the $60 mark for somebody if they're not really into the 40K, you know. But essentially, it's a very good game. I would definitely put it on the wish list and I kind of wait for it to go on sale. You know, that's what I would do.
The Dark Gods are watching.
Oh dang, it's 3v6. This is not gonna go well.
Reveal all to me.
Changing
Servants of the corpse god claims the objective.
Stun charge out.
You ain't slick, bruh. I scanned you. Well, we traded. Ah, dude, man, my teammates are just leaving left and right. Man. This is not cool.
Prolonged in death.
Let's see here.
Vision reveals the folly of blind faith.
Throwing shock grenade.
Yeah, this is kind of a dead round here at this point. A lot of people kind of. Yeah, dude, like this is it's only six v me, 6v2 of us. You know, it's kind of. Yeah, I think it's probably best just to kind of bring this one out, kind of reset, let them win the game, and kind of move on. All right, reading the chat. Protech. I love 40k lore, so I play most every game, at least a little bit. Dude, honestly, if you love 40k lore, this is a fantastic game. Like, they do it justice. Like, they really, really lean in to the 40k stuff. They're very unapologetic when it comes to a lot of that stuff. It's actually beautiful. It's just so well crafted, right? Especially if you have a rig that can run it really well. It's stupendous. Swifty, Space Marine 2 is great. Really fun game to grind if you think operations are fun. And that's kind of the key thing there. Like, you have to really... You get more value out of the game. This is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. You get more value out of this game if, depending on how flexible of a player you are. It depends on how variety of your interests are. Like, if you really just love PvP and that's it, you're going to find it very wanting. You know, you're going to find it just... It's not going to be it, right? You know? If you really love a good story campaign, especially 40k story campaign, you're going to just absolutely love this game, right? Because it delivers. It really does deliver on that regard. If you like repeating PvE oriented missions with kind of like grinding up perks and like upgrades and whatnot, that's going to give you something to do as well. If you like all of these things to a point, right, the game is super worth its value because you're going to go in, you're going to play the campaign, you're going to play the PvE missions, which, by the way, this is the cool thing about this game. The PvE missions, they're interwoven with the campaign. So it's actually kind of in your benefit not to do the PvE missions until you finish the campaign or side by side with the campaign. So it's kind of really cool that way. And then the PvP, it's something casual. It's like once you're kind of like in the game, you kind of master the mechanics and you want to play PvP, it's good. It's like, I think it's a full complete package. So it's like, if you really enjoy the 40k lore and that kind of speaks to your variety of kind of tie of the games, it's absolutely worth the $60, 100%. Darktide is one that's turned itself around a lot and fun too. Yeah, I played that one for quite a bit too. For me, the repetitive PvE live service style game, it's just not for me, right? It's just like, I remember playing Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2, and basically right around the time I finished the first campaign, I started losing interest. It's like, once it's kind of done, it's done. Repeating like scenarios of building your character, like, you know, microing it, it's just not for me. You know, it's just not. That's why Diablo was never kind of a thing for me. And so, you know, that's why Darktide. I played it a bit. It's quite fun, but to me, it kind of reaches a limit after a while. Let's see here. Neutral Auschwitz. It's really useful with a coordinated team. If you do number sharing, I personally don't use Reddit or Discord, so maybe someone knows that already in a discussion. Also, that game costs $60. Yes, I think the full price of this game is $60. Let me go ahead and confirm real quick. Let me just kind of look it up to see if it still is in fact $60. Yeah, standard edition is $60. So yeah, full price $60. I'd recommend buying it on sale, to be honest. It goes on sale often enough to where you can justify it. And I know sometimes people will like maybe compare that feeling to PvP because PvP in a nutshell is designed to be repeated over and over and over again. Um, to a point, I think we're a long way off to creating bots or AI that's gonna have the flexibility that a human brain can have in terms of like adapting, readapting, readapting, readapting. You know, like not just having a script to follow. And so, to me, even though PvP can be repeatable, I think you know it's it's different when it's a person. You're gonna get a lot more variety. It's gonna feel a lot more like a more variety in like a more live game, so to speak. You know.
Squad claims the objective. Dark gods reign. Insanely vile warriors. Shock grenade. A welcome resource.
Get another nade. My big boy now.
Casualty reported. Special deployment ready.
Oh. What the?
I turn the tides.
Oh boy.
Our territory.
Getting mow down. I love it when they bunch up.
Stun charge out. Now is the time to choose.
Oop. Hold on to my shield a little too long.
I am not so easily slain.
It's not worth getting committed in this area yet.
Shock grenade. New objective point found.
There you go. Swifty, I hope they have the budget to go crazy with lore in Arc. Also add some cool story jobs and stuff. I think they're gonna do that. Honestly, I think there's obviously been a built-in story, type thing. And you know what? And if they need inspiration, they can look at one of my videos that's coming out in the near future. I got something cool coming out. I got nothing but time between here and October, so I figure let's go ahead and come up with some cool ideas. I have this cool story mission idea. Just gonna like give you all a little tease called the Defense of Speranza. I think we're gonna have some fun with that. Yeah, I'm basically almost done with that video. It's probably gonna come out maybe not this week, but next week. I want to polish it up, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully, you guys will like that video just as much as you like the last video. All right, Neutral Auschwitz. My most anticipated game of the year is Arc Raiders and was Subnautica 2 before the absolute disaster. Here's my thing. I wasn't a huge fan of this first Subnautica, not my type of game. So I'm sort of in the dark about what happened to Subnautica 2. I've seen some some rumblings here and there, but like I'm not invested enough to really kind of like learn more. I guess at some point maybe I will. But Arc Raiders has been my absolute most anticipated title for like years now at this point. I feel like and I'll point this out in probably in the new video I think as well, because like right now we're at about 15-ish weeks between here and October 30th, and we know an ironclad release date for a full release. I want you to imagine you played Arc Raiders for the first time, and then you wait a year and a half with basically no news, no nothing, and the only news you got was, oh, we're gonna stop working on Arc Raiders full time, and we're gonna focus on getting the finals out. That's literally the only news you got for Arc Raiders after having just played it. That was torturous. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Neutral Auschwitz. The story in Arc is already intriguing if you look at all the hints. Absolutely. We did a podcast. I forget which episode it is. It should be in the title where we talk about the lore and all the things they can do with it. I highly recommend listening to that one if you haven't done so already. During Warfare, man, welcome to the chat, man. Yes, it was brutal, absolutely brutal. So like honestly, by comparison, like having like a set date, waiting, absolutely for sure, it's full release. It's 14-ish, 15-ish weeks, from now. Honestly, man, that's nothing by comparison. So.
Throwing shock grenade. Dark gods reign here.
Oh man, that was a good angle. That was a good angle. All right, all right, all right. Utros. Oh yeah, I heard of Arc Raiders because of that notice. Now, Utros, did you get a chance to actually play the tech test at all? Oh yeah, you did. I mean, obviously you did because we're sitting here talking about it. I apologize. I know a lot of people like, dude, what the heck? Oof, yeah, that was a bad push. That was a bad push.
I will not fail, Perturabo.
Yeah, only Tech Test 2. Yeah. See, here's the great thing about Tech Test 2, right? Is that it wasn't under NDA. So here's another part about all that, right? It's not just I didn't have news, right? There was also an NDA for all of it beforehand. So like there was no content whatsoever to hold me over. None. So, so here, Tech Test 2 comes out. Everyone and their mother's making videos on it. A bunch of streamers, things like that. But for me, we played it and shush. No content. No, no talking about it, all the issue, all the fun things about the game, how awesome it was. Nope, none of that.
Imperial Nazis assault our territory.
All right, in fact, I hate to keep on griping about it, but it's kind of feel like to give you the context of how long I've been waiting for this game, like just to kind of give you just a full degree of it. Keep walking through it. Keep walking through it, buddies. Keep walking through it, buddies. None of that for you. None of that for you. Come on. Oh. Oh, damn. So, like think about this for a second. The game was originally like a looter shooter, like a cooperative game. And then unlike how all the PvE players describe it, it did have PvP in it. It just wasn't obviously the main focus. So it had a little bit of both. And so in their mind, oh, we have a full-on PvE game, no PvP whatsoever, and that's in their mind. And then they changed it to an extraction shooter, right? And to me, this was like the best thing ever because it's like, all right, well, it's another extraction shooter that I get to try out and all that. But the problem is that like because of that, the only people who were breaking the NDA were all the haters, all the people who were super salty about the change, right? And so it was this test that happened. It was fantastic. It had good bones. Had good bones, right? And had good bones, right? And so the only people who were breaking the NDA, the people who were still salty, and they were like, "Oh, this game's horrible," blah 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 blah, and it's like obviously it's not a game built for them, and so they're not gonna be the most forthcoming, and they don't care about breaking NDA because they don't care about getting in the game anymore. That's all we got, and so what happens now is that there's so many people that are just so juiced about the game. It's kind of a relief. Like, okay, you kind of finally see what I saw this whole time of just how special this game was. And so it's such a relief to like finally see that. Oh. So near Auschwitz, the finals filled that void for me. I'm stoked for the Stockholm mayor of Auschwitz in my local Aldi. I don't catch that reference at all, man. I apologize. I'm not a huge finals fan. I enjoyed the game when I played it, but it wasn't one of those things where it really kind of stuck with me.
New objective point found.
Is that that's potentially a really bad thing. Like, yeah, with the switch and all, like, you know, the whole switching
Dark gods reign.
types as well as the NDA portion of it. Yeah, that was potentially a bad thing. And they've even said it before, where like people who were really early in terms of asking for access, like back when they were still prior to that notice, like they actually even have stated in live, or they stated before. I'm not sure where it was, so honestly I can't quote it where exactly where it came from. So, you know, so excuse me for that. The Okay, we're gonna lose this match. So the devs have stated outright basically that people who registered for the tech test early were less likely to get picked because they were still going to be hung up on the change. They were still kind of salty about the change. That's essentially what they said. And honestly, they're right. Like, they're honestly right. Like, to this day, like, even in this last video that I just made, to this day, I still get comments about with people who are salty about the change. To this day. Like, legitimately, and I find that just mind-blowing to me. I really do. Right? It's like, because if you could like just take a step back. Let's just take a step back and think about what they really showed us prior to that first test, prior to shifting into the extraction shooter, right? They gave us one trailer. And honestly, it was a pretty mid trailer, to be perfectly honest. Like, I still have it saved. I know they took it off the internet. I still have it saved for like purposes of B-roll. But it was a pretty mid trailer. The music choice was just not it. It was just kind of just a meh, right? It was like it was promo. That's basically what it was, right? And from that trailer, people took that as like, okay, well, obviously this game is going to be the best thing ever. It's game of the year potential right off the rip. This was in 2021, mind you, right? Like, think about this for a second. They took that, and then a year and a half or so later, they announced that it was going to be an extraction shooter. And then to this day, they're convinced that they would have had the absolute best PvE game ever had Embark stuck with that. Right? And you know what? They may very well be right, but they can't say for sure. They never played the game. They never actually even saw actual gameplay footage. It was just the promo video. Promo, like, you know, quote unquote in game. But like, honestly, we've seen enough trailers at this point to know, hey, don't take the trailers to be one-to-one, you know? So I find that whole like, and I'm sorry if I sound really callous when I talk about this, because it's like, I remember early on I felt really like a lot of empathy for these individuals. And it's like, hey man, you had this game that you were really looking forward to, and it just turns out it's not going to be a game at all that you're going to be into. I feel bad for you, honestly. It's like, man, I feel bad. But this many years later, my sympathy's dried up at this point. You know, like, dude, move on already at this point. Like, just seriously. All right, sorry for the rant. Rant's over. We're still having a good time. We're talking Arc Raiders today, the extraction thing. All right, Nora Auschwitz chat. Let's see here. Embark has a 100,000 Mayor Esports event, and in-game sponsor Auspus for energy drinks will become a reality in stores for you to buy drinks from. Hey, man, that sounds... I mean, if anything we need more now is another energy drink on the shelves. Surely we need another one of those. But that kind of stuff is fun, you know? People get really into that. They can kind of get those collector's items or even just buy them and be like, all right, cool, let me get some codes for it. That takes me back to my younger years, back when that was kind of a big thing. You know? I know it's still a thing now, but it was definitely more of a thing back in the day. All right. See here. Neutral Schwitz. More money for Embark and Nexon to push content. I mean, obviously, right? You like to think or hope that all the money they intake is going to go directly to making the game better, and at least we know a portion of that will be the case. And so far, Embark has shown us that they're worth it. They have a great team, and they have a lot of chops too. That's one thing also as well. Back to that whole PvE versus PvP thing. If you look at the leadership and the core of the Embark team, a lot of them made their bones on PvP games. Like they made it there. So when they decide to go, hey, this is the thing that we're really good at, let them do the thing that they're good at. It's like, do that. All right. What class? What class? What class? Let's see here. Let's see. What haven't I played on stream today? What haven't I played? Bastion? Let's do Bastion. Let's do that. Let's do some shield. Some shield action. Germ warfare. Some of us move from such things in a couple of days or maybe weeks. Others are mentally unwell. I mean, I'm not even trying to like even take it that far, but maybe they just don't have other things going on in their life, It's like maybe they just, I don't know. I don't even want to go that far either, but it's like just thinking it through logically. It's like, hey, if you want like a third person PvE game, I'm playing one right now. Like you can play PvE, pretty grindy. You can do it that way as well. You got Hell Divers. You've got, if you want to do first person, you can do Dark Tide. You can do Vermintide. Like there's the Starship Troopers one. That's a good one as well. Like there is no shortage of PvE games if you want them. Like no shortage, right? Meanwhile, the the extraction shooter genre is made up almost entirely of milsim games, and so finding some kind of sci-fi middle ground casual version, non-existent. But yet that one is just, oh no, we gotta take that one away too. Just I don't know. That whole situation is just kind of, I don't know. It's kind of silly to me, you know. All right, my man Red Bull over here with his wings. We're gonna be slicing and dicing, but I'm basically gonna be trying to be as unkillable as possible, and this is the cue for me to die almost instantaneously. Watch. Oof. Dude, I'm almost out of ammo already. Holy crap. My territory.
Resources acquired.
I got a grenade at least.
Ammunition expended. Our glorious banner strengthens our.
Yeah, I'm gonna die there. Hopefully my buddies get to use that banner though. Yeah, you don't have a lot of ammo for this plasma pistol. Probably gonna have to move on. Gotta move on. Ammo. Pick that up.
Ammunition here.
Objective locus updated.
For the Imperium of Man.
This is Imperial territory.
He must be new at this game.
Releasing shock grenade.
The traitors attack our terrain. The arch enemy has defiled the objective.
Let's see here. Neural Swiss. The only thing Embark isn't the greatest in is marketing campaigns, but they are getting better. Hey man, that's Summer Game Fest is definitely kind of showing that crack a little bit, but you know, honestly, as long as they're good, if they're good at making a spectacular game, I think in the end that's what's gonna market their game for them. You know, good games market themselves.
Territory.
Honor our chapter's colors.
Okay. Swifty, I think the third-person POV helps give the game less of a milsim experience for sure. I mean, it's not even necessarily even a third person, right? You could have done that in first person. I think it's the time to kill is especially useful. You know, you're not just like walking around, you getting one tap by a Mosin suddenly out of nowhere. There's that. There's the sci-fi nature of things in terms of having let's see here, make sure I'm good.
This world exacts a heavy toll.
This is Imperial territory.
Let's expand. Amplify our value.
I apologize, guys. It's hard for me to do two things at once. All right. Oh. I mean, there's a lot of things they could have done to keep it from getting that milsim spec that third person isn't even necessarily even for you. Third person helps. And I think what it does also is like helps it makes it a little bit more casual in terms of he got killed anyways. But I think it helps in terms of like player awareness. Like you don't feel like you're getting jumped out of nowhere. You can kind of tell where the shots are coming from. So it helps a lot with that.
Traitors attack our terrain.
And so I think that's useful.
Releasing shock grenade. Our brother's gene seed will live on. Let this tragedy spur our valor.
Sure, more fair. I really want a collector's edition with a tick or my desk or wall. Dude, that would sound great. That would sound great. But to a point, right? So let's get this audio back on track here. To a point though, right? And we'll probably talk about this in the upcoming podcast, but like, did you notice that Borderlands 4 has a collector's edition? It's a GameStop exclusive, mind you, but it's a collector's edition that costs $150, and it doesn't even include the game. Like, it doesn't even include the game. That's the part that's wild to me. Like, it's $150 without the game.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Oof, yeah, that was gonna hurt. Yeah, I think it's a weird thing. I gotta look. I've looked this up and haven't found a solution for it yet. But Windows keeps dropping my mic down for whatever reason when I get loud or whatever it is. So it's kind of like this is not holding it, despite the fact that OBS I've set it up to, you know, limit the amount of gain that I put out. So there's really no need for it. So I apologize. I know it's not an excuse, but it's, you know,
Traitors attack our terrain.
growing pains when it comes to coming up with streams.
The arch enemy has defiled
Damn it. German warfare. That is nutty, man. That is nutty. As you go out in the fields or woods, and you'll have the ticks you ever want, all the ticks you ever wanted. I mean, that's kind of true, man. This audio thing is really pissing me off here. Cause yeah, I can send it back up, but like it just.
The traitors attack our terrain.
It's I have it visually on my second screen, so I can kind of see when it dips, but like, it still does it. That was a meat grinder right there.
We have defiled the objective.
Understood.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Shock grenade out.
Oh yeah, that was too much.
Imperial territory.
All right. If I feel like if I land a good flanking position with a kill or two, we got this in the bag now at this point.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Yeah, we got this regardless. All right, cool. All right. So, real quick, chat. I want to get your feelings on this, and I want you to 100% be absolutely brutally honest. So I plan to go pretty hard on Arc Raiders once it finally comes out, right? I don't think anyone really is surprised by that, but in terms of being able to go hard on that, I'm going to try to find ways to monetize what I'm doing, not because it's necessarily for the money, but it's also, it allows me to then, because my responsibilities don't go away, you know, just because I have a passion, just because I want to put cool things out for you guys to enjoy, right? Like that stuff doesn't go away. But the more this helps take care of some of that, the more I can put out. It kind of becomes a snowball effect, you know? And so one thing I've started to do, and I'm not sure if anybody even noticed this, okay, I'm not trying to advertise it, is that now I have a members option for the channel. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't want to really push it really hard because I'm still working out the kinks, and I'm not trying to like push that on anybody because I'm not really sure what to put on there in terms of like perks or anything like that. You know, it's just kind of like one of the reasons why I wanted to put it out there is because like at least now, as opposed to when Arc Raiders comes out, is because of streaming, you're seeing the audio, you're seeing things like that. Because of streaming, I'm gonna run into issues, and I'd rather kind of iron all of that out now before it comes out, before it kind of really blows up, potentially, you know. And so I want to get your guys' feedback. Like, what do you think would be something? Because I've never personally signed up for any content creators membership, but I'm a cheap bastard. Anyone will tell you right now, I'm a very cheap bastard when it comes to where I spend my money and all that, right? And so maybe everyone else is kind of the same way. I don't know, but like, what are some things that kind of like draw you to go, hey, you know what? I'm willing to spend $1 a month, or I'm willing to spend $5 here. You know, like, what are some things that can really excite people to like be here? Because you're here, you're watching me. I presumably, you know, you're hanging out with me, not even watching the game that the channel really is kind of like gearing towards anyway. So I feel like I can get your honest opinion on that. And so hopefully maybe you guys can give me some kind of like, you know, even if the answer is like, you know what, there's nothing that you could offer because I don't see the value. 100% understandable. Like I've been there. So if you can give me any feedback on that, man, I would greatly appreciate that. You know what? Let's mess with this real quick here. Armoring Hall. Not too big of a fan of the the bastion or look here. Do that. Start ace. Let's go with blue, I guess. Nah, I like the wings. I like this better. Yeah, I like the wings better. Not a big fan of that. Just not. No, we'll do that. Hey, I've got my unlock. I got a new little. Is this? That's the only difference, huh? Okay. I guess so. Might as well, right? All right. Let's see here. We'll go with blue. Oh yeah, pyro. Check this out, man. Like the little salamander sniper. Let's do that. All right. Let's do it. Let's get back in the action. Let's get back in the action. All right. Let's still waiting on players here. The one thing I do enjoy about this PvP scenario right now is that when I came back months later after not playing the game for a while, I was pretty sure I was going to run into lobbies that were nothing but like maxed out people, like level 32s. And I'm, as you can see, it's a mix. So I'm kind of glad to see that, and I'm seeing a bunch of people just kind of trickle in and kind of playing the game. So it's kind of fun. It's fun that way, in that it's a little bit all over the place. It feels very old school in that you're gonna get what you get. All right, get to play this map again, hopefully with a full team this time. All right, what should I play as? We'll do Vanguard. I'm done Vanguard. 3-round burst. Little Batman action.
Bring honor to the chapter, brothers.
That's a cool color that he's got going on. Very bright.
Heather unbound. Stunning them. Good to hear.
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Oop, yep.
The arch enemy has defiled the objective.
Whom do I have to kill to get a good fight around here?
We lost the advantage. Reclaim it at once. Shock grenade out! The traitors attack our terrain! Into the fray!
Oh.
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Yep. Cut you off.
What needs grappling?
Nope, not fighting that.
This is Imperial territory.
Alright, they should probably be moving on to the next point. Free 5 points, give or take.
Objective focus updated.
Oh,
Hook available.
Munitions.
Magazine out. Magazine in.
My gratitude.
let's see if I can flank these fools.
Into the maw of death. We lost the advantage. Reclaim it at once.
Alright, they got that.
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
We got this locked down.
Deploying shock grenade.
Oh! Yeah, we got this locked
Traitors
down.
attack our
Oh, they're on it.
terrain.
Yeah, any more? Where are the ammo?
Our allies are halfway done.
Good job, boys.
Ordnance on
Give me some
me.
ammo. Damn.
The traitors attack our
Oh.
terrain.
Remind me to never ever bring that up again, because y'all went dead silent on that.
Do not be pretty. The traitors attack our terrain. The arch enemy has defiled the objective.
This boy trying to be sneaky. Yo, sneaky boy.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Oh, that was bad. Wow, hold on. All this,
Get me back in there.
for whatever reason, guys, my chat did not show up until just now. I gotta play a lot of catch up. Holy crap. All right, gotta catch up. Dude, wow, oh my god, what the heck happened there? All right. Let's see here. Which was, how is it a collector's edition without the actual product? I mean, license sat here or whatever. Germ warfare, that's what happens when you touch grass. Germ warfare, it's very dangerous. Yeah, it is very dangerous. Switz, what you need is a better audio setup, because that is one of the most important things. Absolutely, I agree. I'm definitely gonna have to put some more emphasis on that. It doesn't really come up in my videos, but it definitely comes up when I'm streaming.
Giving them a shot. The traitors attack our terrain.
I'm gonna die here. Maybe not.
Arming up. This is Imperial territory.
Lock that's okay. Here, Embark partnership is great from what I've heard. I mean, if they let me in at some point, I'm not sure if I'm just not big enough for that yet at this point. We'll see. Swifty, cheap bastard here. I probably wouldn't sign up. I would toss in some cash during live streams here and there. All right, fair enough. I appreciate that. So here, that said, I think it really comes down to the show you put on. Honestly, how you present the content and what you do. It's tricky to become a solo game, Andy. Yeah, it is tricky. I think it's easier to start that way to build up an audience a little bit, but like ultimately the long-term scenario, you want to be able to be big enough to where you can play whatever game. But even then, it's kind of iffy.
Objective locus updated.
All right, let's just catch up on chat here because legitimately a whole page worth of chat was going unreported. So let's get to all of it. All right. Let's see here. I suggest streams on all platforms to get donations, etc. Make an overlay or pin chat message or bot. It's more subtle than asking for it constantly, so people are more inclined. I agree, 100%. I would never be sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, please donate this, that, and the other." No, it's just it's there if you want, you know. And this isn't me asking. This is more me getting feedback from it, which is really basically super valuable. You know, it's just that's what it is. So I apologize if that comes off another way. Let's see here. And in terms of streaming other platforms, I've had mixed results on that. When I've streamed on Twitch as well as here, the quality kind of gets a little wonky. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just stream in the platform where most of my audience is, and so to kind of give them the gist, you know, kind of have a better experience overall, if that were the case. Neural Auschwitz, if you should multi-stream, I suggest a merged chat overlay. Definitely, I gotta look into that more. See here, Germ Warfare, don't typically care about the perks being offered, but lower/cheap tiers are attractive when there are multiple creators I'd like to support and or money is tight, of course. Neutral Auschwitz, also based on stats, I'd suggest when you establish your main Arc Raiders content and are engaged with core audience, that you promoted your audience to sub, like, and subscribe. Of course, that's kind of like, I feel it's interesting that you say that, because I feel a certain kind of way when people say that it's cringy or whatever when you're asking people to subscribe. It's like, not really. Having worked in sales, it's nothing wrong with asking for the sale. If you feel like the customer is going to benefit from the product that you're offering, you shouldn't feel bad for basically asking them to buy the product that you think that they're going to be benefiting from, you know. So it's the whole not like asking to subscribe thing. It's like, it's just asking for the sales. Like, hey, you're watching my videos constantly enough, might as well just subscribe, you know. Let's see here. Neutral Auschwitz, you'll have to experiment on where and how frequent you should place your calls to action for maximum audience re-engagement. I personally appreciate it the most if memberships are mentioned in short. Right. I agree. It's kind of like why I've kind of played with it over the years I've been doing this. As per the numbers, most people are gone within the first 30 seconds of a video. That's typical. About 50% is about typical, right? So I kind of work on getting that number a little higher to kind of make my intros a little bit more compelling, to kind of work on my pacing to keep people engaged more for the duration of the video. And what I've also done over the years is I shifted away from asking for subs right after the intro, because at the same time, it's like I want the people who are subscribing to really be engaged with the content, not just anybody who happens to feel, hey, I clicked on this video, I'm here for 30 seconds, so, you know what, I'll sub whatever. But someone who's been watching the video and they're kind of halfway through it already, like if you're halfway through the video, chances are you're probably gonna like my content in general. So I feel like at that point it's a good opportunity to be like, you know what, if you're still here, chances are you're probably gonna enjoy the rest of the content. And so it's more of like, rather than me spamming people with it, it's more like being strategic about it, not necessarily, and also like not about when I can get more, but it's like, hey, you're obviously enjoying it, hit the subscribe button, you know, like. But in terms of the membership stuff, that's kind of weird for me still. I'm probably gonna play with that a little bit to see what can be done, and just put the majority of the benefits basically in the cheaper options, because I don't feel like I can really offer you know, much more in terms of like what else can I do at this point. I'm not big enough to really offer things. I know sponsorships are the most lucrative way of uh, being sufficient in terms of the monetization side of things. However, here's the key thing. In terms of that, if a sponsor that I wasn't exactly thrilled with gave me an offer that was, you know, decent, I'm not in a position to say no, right? And I don't like that. I don't like that position. And so if I want to go forward, and in long term, it might be more beneficial to me that way. Hey, you know what? They sponsor it. I can make better content, and eventually, when that sponsorship runs out, I can find a sponsor that I'm more inclined to want to advertise for, essentially. But I feel like kind of exploring the membership side of things gives me a little bit of wiggle room in that regard. Plus, also, if the sponsorship allows me for it, I can also negotiate a little bit in terms of for the sake of the membership. They'll be like, hey, you know what? This sponsor wants to sponsor me. Maybe it's a product that my members would like. Can you give me like a discount code for the members that you know that subscribe to me? So that kind of gives me a little bit of wiggle room with that, and that's kind of why I'm exploring it a little bit. Let's see here. Let's go with Vanguard again. Swifty, it seems to me that Kick is knocking it out of the park with regards to streamer take-home cash, and maybe it is. I feel like if you're all, but I feel like that's only if you're already discovered, like if you're already kind of doing that. But in terms of discoverability, Twitch is horrible. Like if you don't already have an audience that you can kind of funnel there, Twitch is horrible for that. YouTube is great in terms of like, I'm sure you guys got the notification being, hey, I'm about to go live here and there. I'm able to kind of essentially advertise before going live to maximize the amount of people that are going to show up at the beginning. And so then I'm not penalized for having like a little bit of a lull in the first 20 minutes, you know? This is not good. This is not good. Let's see here. Might be worth it to have a Patreon link or something. I think they take less than YouTube. I'm sure you're far more familiar with that than me, though. Honestly, not really. Patreon's never been a thing that I've explored. But you may be right in that regard, in terms of them taking less of it. But like a third-party site, I feel like it's just asking more of the members to do. Like in terms of like, hey, you want to do more? I'm asking you to click, you know, 3 different places instead of just one. Maybe I'm overthinking it though, as is my my habit. But yeah, I think it's just more looking into it, and I just wanted to get you guys' feedback because you're here and you're engaged, and I really appreciate y'all for doing that. Oh, someone's using the melta bombs on this one. We're doing well here. The problem, I think, with this game mode is that you get a lot of points for just being on the point. Even though I'd probably would be better off being on this corner right here, which I'm gonna do right now. But like, I think the rest of my team just got slaughtered. Oh, I'm gonna die. Let's see here. Let's see here. Neutral Auschwitz. The only thing that would be no insult to put into membership would be outtakes, and you mentioned affiliate discount links. Anything else would feel weird from a general audience perspective. I agree. Germ warfare, yeah, but if I'm going to support someone, I'd prefer more go to them than YouTube. You know, that's good to think about. And a lot of people already have Patreon accounts. Fair enough. Fair enough. It gives me a lot to consider, actually. All right. Uh-oh.
How does the melee even fucking lock in on me? Makes no sense.
Hey, looks like we got somebody with a mic now. It only took us 2 hours of gaming to find him. The neutral Auschwitz, give us more options. The people who are lazy, quote unquote lazy, and won't leave the site can donate here, and people who are more dedicated will likely work through third parties to give you a bigger cut. You know what? That's a fantastic argument, man. That's a great way to put it. I think that seals it, the deal in that regard.
Our warband is halfway there. Throwing shock grenade. He's dead. Move on. The servants of the cops can't claim the objective.
Oh, he got me with that. All right. I need to go back again.
Shall never know death. Imperial matches assault our territory.
Kind of a close game this time around, so that's good. Does that guy really just stay there and not expect to get shot in the back? Oh. Oh, I'm holding off half their team up here and not on the point, so kind of an upside, I guess.
Matches assault our territory.
Let's see here.
One of
Two
our
interceptors flying around like fucking fags.
shock grenade launched. I'm reloading.
Someone's not happy.
New objective point found. Casualty. Put to them all.
Get some ammo. And get some nades.
Assault our territory. Meat hook prime. Imperial matches assault our territory. Kill them. To the slaughter.
Oof.
The cops can't claim the objective. Core needs more scum.
Let's see here. All right, back to Arc Raider combo then. What is your guys' favorite map? Like, which map was like, yeah, I want to play this one a lot more and give me more of this kind of map? For me, probably Starport, to be honest. I like the mix of terrain, open and also enclosed buildings. It was large. Yeah, who's gonna win that one? Damn, mostly because of the views, though. I agree. It's some cool stuff. Damn. Contraside, welcome to the chat, man. Appreciate you. Damn. Why, though? Like, why damn?
Tools of death. Stun grenade launch. Fallen behind. Shut more blood. Loading up. Imperial Nazis assault our territory. Our warband holds the advantage. Go there! Servants of the corpse don't claim the objective. New objective point found.
That man just did not want to die.
Ready to gut them.
Maddie, man, welcome to the chat, man. I appreciate you. Say, hey guys, new to the stream. I play Arc Raiders test. It was incredible. Do you think they will build Speranza into a more immersive hub? I'm not sure 100%, but I hope if they do, that they allow us to not use it if we don't want to. Like, I'm one of those few people that's just not a fan of that. Personally. And I'll tell you why. When I played the Psycho Frontier, you know, walking around it seems pretty cool and all, and I'm sure Arc Raider would do it way better than the Psycho Frontier ever would, or ever did. But it got really tiring having to walk back and forth to all these different vendors to build a basic loadout. You know, that got tiring really fast. So if they do that, I really hope they give us the option to simply not use it. And I hope that's the case. And if they allow us to not use it, like if they maybe, I don't mean not use it in terms of like giving us a tab so we can simply circumvent it, but put us in it anyways. Maybe even let us just go, hey, I don't want to be put into it, so don't bother loading me into it. That would be better for everybody, because if the people who want to be interactive in that regard are more likely to be there in your lobby with you. You know what I'm saying? So everyone kind of gets the best of both worlds in that regard, you know? Germ Warfare, I felt the dam was most ratty, but looked so gorgeous. I am inclined to agree in terms of the readiness, but I think that's a lot because of the way it was built. And also I think because it was the quote unquote first map. And so most of the people who are there, they kind of know everything. They know all the areas already. So they're more inclined to like know the corners. And also maybe newer players, maybe players who weren't sufficiently like gung-ho are probably playing there a little more often than not. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Countryside. Let's see here. Damn, it has open areas and tunnels, swamplands, and little towns. Arc were easier to engage. Yeah, I mean, it is the first map, technically. It does have a wide variety of biome type things, type feels. So I'm inclined to agree there. The only thing I didn't particularly care for on the dam portion of it that I do like on the starport, and I say don't care for, I'm not saying like I dislike it or anything like that. It's just more of like, I prefer this portion of Starport because of it. It didn't feel like I had this huge middle. It has a dam. It's basically this huge thing in the middle that kind of prevented me from traversing the map in more unique ways. It kind of felt like they had very specific routes that people would take, and so you can kind of like maximize that, which is probably leaning to what Germ was saying in making it feel more ratty, you know, like whereas Starport, it's way more open, and even the areas that you think are open, there's tunnels underneath. So I felt like there was more fluidity in terms of how you moved around that map. Let's see here. Neutral Auschwitz. I think you as a creator do a good job. The only things I'd improve is the audio quality in general and thumbnails. Oh, fantastic! I appreciate that feedback. Right, I really do. Let's see here. Neutral Auschwitz. I mean, Embark has 3D models of Speranza. Okay, I get what you're saying. It's like you mean that they have 3D models of Speranza. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna make it playable. You know, like I feel like they could, but I feel like if they're spending time and energy doing that, they could be spending time and energy to make the portion of the game that people really care about, which is the raids, better. You know, like you could say, well, you know, it's an added thing, people care about it, but I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on that. I just don't want to I just don't want to be forced to use it because I did that for Cycle Frontier, and that stuff gets old fast. The Countryside, if they are smart, they will implement an optional gathering hub. 100%. Like it's basically what I'm really wanting. I want the option to use it. I want the option to not use it. You know, and if they do have it, give me a reason to use it. Right? Like let me, if I invite it, because here's the thing. I probably have a bad taste in my mouth because the Cycle Frontier did such a horrible job doing it. Like here's a great example. What they didn't do, they didn't even sync the hub instance with you and your party members. So you can have 2 party members and they wouldn't even be in the same instance as the hub. That's a big no-no. Like, dude, what's the whole point if you can't even have your teammates in the same hub as you, you know? Let's go with heavy. You know, at the very least you can do that. Maybe even like have people come in. Like I would totally be on board with like a customizable like base that you can like, you know, customize and then share with your teammates and be like, oh yeah, this is like totally what I'm working on, and kind of show it off. Like if you're gonna do it like that, I would totally be a part of it. Thank you, buddy. I gotta get my shield back down to 1 HP. Oh, I'm gonna die. Let's see here. Auschwitz. I think Embark has the Valve ideal of polish. Do it fully or don't do it at all. I agree. Like to me, it's one of those cases where I feel like if that's gonna be the case, if you're not gonna, I feel like that's energy better spent somewhere else, but that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure if they do it, they'll do it in a way that'll make me love it anyway. So I'm open to it, one way or the other.
The traitors attack our terrain. Iron Halo protocol in progress.
Oof, good shot from the back. Let's see, Swifty, a hub would be great for story stuff or clan RP gatherings. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I am convinced, like me personally, my experience says that I'm not, what the heck is going on with this game? My personal experience has said that I would not be bothered if they didn't have it in the game. However, Embark has a history of making stuff that, you know, are absolutely solid gold. So if they make it, maybe I'll enjoy it a lot more. Get my shield in here. Come on, guys. Mike, gotta push. Can't hold that choke point. Countryside, I think if they do a gathering hub option, that would be open up a way of some storytelling or limit time events in a more immersive way. I'm inclined to agree. I think that's kind of a like, it just gives them more options to storytell in that regard. So in that part, I agree in terms of them. It opens up the options for them. Let's see here. Feel like we're gonna get some flankers here in a second.
Throwing shock grenades.
Preemptively throw that. Oh,
Objective locus updated.
Obtaining armaments. Shock grenade deployed. Iron Halo online.
woo! Get lit up.
Halo protocol in progress.
Oh, well, held up. Killed one guy. Held up the other one. Okay, so we're good.
Support incoming.
Swifty agreed. Cycle got old fast. Yeah, maybe it was just they did it poorly. That's what it was. Maybe they just did it poorly. You know.
Deathlock.
But honestly, having to walk around to constantly build a loadout, like people already don't like building loadouts that take too long. Like you know, that's kind of the thing that people already complain about.
Shock grenade launched. Engaging elite countermeasures.
Boy, I thought he was slick. Here. Dude, rolling through that team. Rolling through that team.
Tactic ready.
I thinks he's slick. He's not invisible.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Oh. Ready to move on.
Objective locus updated.
Iron Halo protocol in progress.
Dude. You're not invisible, bro. He just keeps walking right in front of my gun. Love it. Let's see here, conscious side. I'm super drawn to the setting and would love some more lore elements. I agree, man. I agree. You're gonna love the new video I got coming out soon. It's gonna coming up roughly about next week or so. It's about a lore event. Gonna tease the title a little bit, the Defense of Speranza, something like that. So I think you're gonna enjoy that. If you like the last video, kind of like the ideas in terms of what I can bring to that, you're gonna really love. Here.
Conversion operation.
This is Imperial territory.
Oh. Can't see a damn thing.
Enhanced tactic ready.
Oh. Should've turned on that shield a little sooner.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Neutral out Swiss. The thing I'm worried about is that their anti-cheat. I'm in Linux, so user, so I'm worried about the kernel level and cheat hindering me to play the game. Yeah, on that part, yeah, I can imagine your concern in that regard. I think most people though, when they're thinking about anti-cheat, they're worried about just not running into cheaters, you know.
Objective locus updated.
Iron Halo protocol in progress.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep. See here, conscious eye. Just like the finals, since it's a game show with story elements, I wish they would lean more into that. What platform do you plan on playing? I mean, PC. Just
Combat readiness.
I've been a PC player for a very long time now. Steam is kind of like going to be it. What's isn't the finals the VR game show in the Arc Raiders world? And countryside, I think I saw that screenshot. I think there's kind of mixed feelings on that, mixed information on that. So I'm not sure if that's entirely true.
Iron Halo
Oh, I'm not pushing through this. Maybe now I am.
The traitors attack our terrain.
execute Iron Halo tactics.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Ooh, man. killer flank. All right, gotta hold this zone here. This side.
The traitors attack our terrain.
Yep.
Our terrain.
He just shoots me once. Let's see if he chases the kill.
Astartes
Yeah, he's chasing the kill.
updated.
Dude, that made that boy chase me forever. Here, Swifty Linux here too. I think if finals runs, they would use the same server pipeline.
Traitors attack our terrain.
Let's see, neutral switch. Considering the dates of the maps in finals, it would make sense anyways. Yeah, I think that idea though is still kind of debatable, from what I can tell in terms of what people that have kind of looked that stuff up.
Our terrain.
Yep.
Iron Halo protocol in progress.
Oof. Yeah, getting smashed down.
Restored to combat readiness.
The traitors attack our terrain.
No, Swiss. Let's see here. Swifty. They said they're switching the finals to Colonel.
Conversion field operational.
The arch enemy has defiled the objective.
All right, they're gonna. This is gonna be close. We gotta really lock in for this last hill to see if we get it.
Reporting secure prime.
Objective locus updated. The traitors attack our terrain.
Grenade deployed.
This is Imperial
Iron
territory.
Halo tactics.
Nope. Oh man, dude. There's only so many bodies I can drop.
Enhanced tactic ready. Support.
Alright, looks like we got the point for now. 5 people on there. All right, good. It's gonna be good. We got this. I'm gonna set up on that flank. Maybe, hopefully, we can do some work. These guys just don't give away the position that they just earned. Maybe I have to go help them out directly, but
Utilizing shock offense.
The traitors attack our terrain.
oh, this is not gonna end well. Maybe I should have just joined the group directly and not relied on them to actually hold the ground, even though there was 5 of them.
Attack our terrain.
All right. About to lose it. We gotta jump on. Come on, boys. We gotta jump on.
The traitors attack our terrain.
All right, that's good.
The arch enemy has
All right. Let's see here. No, Switz. Though I'd love to have AI anti-cheat instead. Server side is more reliable, anyways. It's beyond my knowledge base. Honestly, I'm not familiar enough to do all that. But I just hope, like everybody else, that I don't run into cheaters on a regular basis. Like at all, obviously, but like I hope I don't run into cheaters enough to the point where it starts to ruin my, my fun. And I think that's a pretty low bar. Like, never again is a pretty high bar. Not enough to ruin my overall gaming experience. It would be, I think that's a pretty low bar, honestly, in the grand scheme of things. All right. I think this is pretty much where I wrap it up, gentlemen. I want to thank everybody here for showing up whenever you did, early, late, whatever. I thank you so much for your feedback on everything. Thanks for having the conversation with me, hanging out. If you, it's just a pleasure just being here and working out. Help me with the audio issues. I'm gonna be looking into getting that done better. Thank you so much for the advice. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll be recording the podcast with other people tomorrow, and I'll be putting that out on Sunday. So keep an eye out for that, as well as a cool little video idea for an event idea. In about a week or so. Keep an eye out for that, and I'm gonna try my best to see if I can try to do some streaming between now and then. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.